I mean, I think the difference is you've been excited to learn my entire life, and you kind of pass that on to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you hear that's a positive thing about me?
It is a positive thing. Look at that.
The dumbest father in the room. That's what the name of the show is. Yeah.
I got him excited to learn.
Curious father in the room. Yeah.
Yes. We're having fun.
Whatever you say. I'm going to have fun regardless. Can you believe this is my job? This is silly.
Yeah. It is silly. This is the worst part of your job.
Yeah.
Right now, right? Come, you had to admit that. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to make your videos with your friends. You don't get to hang out with Trundy. The editing is fun. You get to lock in. This is the least fun part of your job. So that's pretty good.
I disagree. My least favorite thing to do is emailing like people for guests and stuff because I feel like I'm annoying people, but that's just all in my head.
Oh yeah.
It's not a job problem. That's my brain problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made a little list. I was thinking somebody from the Center for Creative Leadership that's here in Greensboro, somebody from the foster care system.
And no, this is
Like
the
a
list.
child
I wrote.
or like a worker?
Do what?
Like a child or like a worker?
Maybe that might be a good idea. You bring in some foster kids, almost like they do at the pound with the dogs. Where
I was about to say, the pet of the week. Is this a child? Well, I literally did that at my old job in news. I was like, are we doing a pet? That's literally pet of the week. We can call Tony up and see if he can do it.
That sounds really uncaring, but you know, that's just a way to make the parallel. Because I heard a thing on NPR when I was driving yesterday.
Also, that kid's gonna be like, wow, a lot of people are gonna see me in a documentary. He's like, 56 views.
I know. Dude, if you get adopted off viewers from this show, no, thank you. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, I'm fucked.
You know how high quality you are? There's only 50 people, and one of them decided they want you as their foster child?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, your list. I was reading your list. You said all that, and then someone from this Operation for Refugee Placement Camp or Immigrants, Center for Creative Leadership. And then you just said someone who can communicate with the dead.
Yes.
Like a medium?
Yes, like a medium.
That would be funny.
I would like to maybe have a conversation with Ralphie May.
Well, we'll get a substitute producer for that. I don't mess with that juju.
What do you mean?
I don't like that stuff. Like dead, calling on the dead.
Yeah, that's a little weird, man.
What
I'll
do
pass.
you mean?
You don't know who's going to come with it. Because that comes out like a beacon to whatever. Now, believe whatever you want to believe, but I believe in images.
They're scammers, dude. They're not really communicating with the dead. They're like the John Edwards types. They're just really good at reading facial expressions and human nature and blah blah blah. When they start saying,
and they'll read that I'm scared and make me more scared.
Yeah. I'm just saying it doesn't. It's okay. All right. It's like.
Also, your
like
necklace
Owen,
is rubbing against the
mic. You know how I do
mic.
with rocks, where I pick up rocks and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I was telling them last night, I just was in Greece, right? Greece and Turkey, and out in these beautiful bays and where Socrates and Aristotle might have walked around, I don't even know, whatever. But I picked up some rocks and stuff from there, each place, and that sort of rub, because I don't know, man, it brings me back to there. It's like peaceful. I think it brings me some good vibes and stuff.
Yeah. It brought you back the infinite knowledge, the ancient universe.
Exactly.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Connects me to that.
Yeah.
And then I was rubbing on one or something, and Mom asked me what that is. Did I already tell you this? And then she said, I told her it's some rocks from whatever, and she said, you should be careful about grabbing those kind of things, right? Because you might bring in some negative juju to the house and bring in some open up some portals of blah blah blah. And I was just like, are you crazy with your weird superstition? and that's exactly why I have it.
Yeah.
Right? But somehow, because it's different than my perspective of it, brings me goodness.
Because yours was going to benefit you.
Yeah.
Mine was going to benefit me, and then she sees it the other way, and I'm like, your thing is kooky.
Yeah.
And it didn't even think at the time, oh no, I'm also
It's
that.
the same thing.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's just a fucking rock I picked up.
Yeah. That's like a big thing in Hawaii when Michaela used to live there, they couldn't like take the rocks from the volcanoes and stuff like that because
that makes sense.
it would bring like really bad juju to the house. It's really weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they just didn't want people to take it because, like, I feel like tourists go to Hawaii all the time. They're just like, yeah, I'll take a rock. And before you know it, there's no Hawaii. It's in everybody's living room. That's what I thought. But you can't take stuff because, like, people, it's a small island.
That's right. Why go buy land on Hawaii when you can just visit it a lot and take like a pocket full of rocks home and then eventually you have Hawaii in your house?
A little bit of Hawaii at your house.
That's hilarious.
But I didn't know that about the juju with it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a big thing. It's a big thing.
By the way, this to the viewers, this is you're Owen Simmons. You're my son. You're off to college now. The girls, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. You got the mustache going. We've had an interesting day already, right? We went.
Yeah.
We met for breakfast.
I forgot to click record when the band played him in. We had the Roots here. They were playing.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you know, I like to acknowledge our viewer and say thank you and blah 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 and remind her who he is. You were talking in the parking lot about how bald the tires on my car were.
Yeah. It's
funny.
terrible.
It's very funny.
I'm scared for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are pretty bad, dude.
They are pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of arguing against that literally this morning to the people that work on my car. Owen and I were standing there. And
you were there? You got your car worked on today and you didn't get tires?
Yep. Because one of them had a leak in it, and they were like, we can't repair it because it's on the edges, but look, you need new tires. This is dry rotted, blah, blah, blah. She was going through it with me. That's
why you didn't listen?
No, I'm going back. I'm getting
She
them.
said, and that's why you didn't listen.
I love her. She's like...
You love her?
I do. She's...
A little overcorrection there, but no. She's the love of my life.
No, I've known her for... We've gone there all of... since I've lived here, right?
Yeah.
You know, she knows me and knows us, and so we had... That was a fun interaction with her,
It
right?
was a hilarious interaction. They started talking about politics and stuff from the tires. Inflation, Biden.
Yeah.
I see.
This is the worst inflation we've ever had under Biden, right? Name a time where there was more inflation, and it's like, oh shit, I don't know it. I don't know the answer to that. I was just like, I just start saying things like I know. I'm like, 1970s, the 1970s we had high inflation. This all went this way because of Reagan. I just started, It had to be the most hilarious conversation for him to watch. Two uninformed people from total different sides of the spectrum arguing about Trump.
No, it was great. She was just talking about how Biden administration is making the gas prices go up, and Dad's like, "What? The president doesn't have nothing to do with that. What are we talking about? That's what Reagan did. Reagan did all that."
It's the same thing with The Rock.
Yeah,
it's literally the same thing with The Rock. You're crazy.
No, if you are a Trump supporter at this point, come on, man. The guy is a fucking con artist, criminal, liar. For you not to see that?
I feel like he gets more followers the longer. Like, I bet he has more people who are really into him now than he did, like, when he was president.
Yes.
Because it's like the image, he's like the bad boy, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Even though he's a con artist, I mean, how much of that in the presidency is he really going to use for himself? Like, obviously,
what are you talking about?
He can try to, but it's not.
His son-in-law got millions, maybe billions of dollars from the Saudis into his investment funds.
Who among us?
I'm just making that up. I don't even know if that's really true.
You're just saying shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Same thing. They lowered gas prices. She did say, how about all the shutdowns that we've had because of COVID under Biden? And I was like, what are you talking about? That was during Trump's administration. She was like, well, Biden did it. Okay, so I know I'm
the dude
uninformed.
It takes him like 3 hours to pick his ice cream flavor.
But I'm trusting her on my tires, is what I'm saying. So I'm
all
getting.
Right.
So
dude, I want a QAnon person working on my car.
Really? Why?
Yeah, dude, they're probably like if they're really into that and they're willing to like go down a rabbit hole and that stuff, dude, they're gonna take care of your car. A QAnon mechanic, that's gotta be great.
What do you think about that? Does that make any sense?
Makes sense.
It does.
Someone who's that into it.
They're into QAnon theory conspiracies. That doesn't mean they're going to be into fixing your car. How are they?
No, I'm saying if he's already a mechanic, he's already into it. I don't know why I have the camera on Owen right now. Sorry, I don't want to put you in the middle of this. I'm saying a QAnon person, they're like so wrapped up in a thing. Of course, they're going to be like so wrapped, like they have that personality. They're like,
okay.
And then I feel like they'd be good at working on your car. I mean, obviously, they had to already be a mechanic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but
I bet there's people who agree with me too. QAnon guy. You want a QAnon person for your mechanic. You want a, I don't know. What do you want a blue-haired person?
You want a liberal mechanic?
See, I wouldn't want a liberal mechanic.
You know what? I kind of like my mechanic, and they're obviously big Trump people, you know. So it's I'm fine with that. I don't know. I'm not going to hold it so against them that I'm not going to go let them work on my car. How about that? Yeah. Yeah.
Would you let Trump work on your car?
No.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
There is a logic to that too, where I'm like, why? Why would I why would I trust someone to work on me and to deal fairly with me when their role model is the exact opposite of that? An incompetent buffoon con artist.
They don't like him because of his business stuff. They like him because he says what he, they don't like him for.
No, dude, he lowered gas prices.
That's all they care about, man.
Yes. Yeah. So we were talking about it because Owen was telling me how badass this hat looks, right?
It is a good hat.
And they have a red one from their team that I like, the red one with the white Northwest on it.
Yeah.
And I like this one because the other one is too Trump supportery.
What do you mean? It's like red and white, I guess?
It's red and white, so it's what it reminds you of. So he's ruined red hats like
I feel like we're past
Hitler
that. I haven't
mustaches.
seen a MAGA hat in a long time.
Yes, but if I walked in here with that hat, it would be it's psychologically it would be what you thought.
That is very true.
It really does look like a MAGA.
It's pretty true. Yeah, I mean it's basically just the red. It's like that hat, but exactly the MAGA red with the white N on it.
Yeah. I did. I wore it when I first got it. I wore it not even thinking about it. I wore it and did an open mic, and Dara said, "Tom, don't wear that hat. That's too."
I remember that.
Yeah. So, and that's what made me think, "Oh yes, it does look like that. I didn't even think that." And so speaking of Hitler mustaches. You have a mustache. We were just talking about your mustache.
He doesn't have a Hitler one.
I know. I'm just saying it gets us to mustaches. That's the way my mind works.
That's the way your mind works?
Your mind, when you see a mustache, immediately goes to Hitler.
It goes to Hitler?
Well, no, I was doing my little joke about how he's ruined the hat the way Hitler ruined the mustache, and then now I'm sort of done with that subject. So here we go.
Chaplin had a mustache like that.
Chaplin had it because he did The Great Dictator, and he played.
I thought he had it before that.
Oh, he might have. He did, yes.
Let's call him up. Let's get to the bottom of this.
That was a really good movie, by the way, Chaplin. Do you remember watching Charlie
I do
Chaplin?
remember watching Charlie Chaplin. You used to watch that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun. I had no idea what was going on.
Neither did I. I couldn't, I never really got into Charlie Chaplin, and I thought, this will be fun. It's all visual funny, and
more of a Buster Keaton guy myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If we're comparing the two, but.
So it's just a bunch of like fall down humor and physical comedies.
I was laughing because I was like 3.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of giggling because some guy just fell down on a screen.
Yeah.
But it wasn't actually funny. There was no humor.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of that stuff still holds up. Like I feel like a lot of that type of humor. Like if you can make someone 80 years from now laugh, I feel like that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can watch a speech from the Great Dictator, and it's still really good. And it still sort of applies today.
Yeah.
That was an example of the way he using comedy to make an impactful social message that
I've never actually
literally has
seen
lasted 100 years. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
I just don't know, how far it could possibly go. You know what I'm saying? Like how far the humor could go without words.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, obviously it goes a long way because it's still popular and he's, still well regarded. But, I mean, how long can that stay a thing?
There's been comment like I think Carlin did this where he went out on either Carlin or Steve Martin did a set where they went out on stage like on a Carson show. I think I'm not 100% on any of these facts, except for the fact that it was about a 5-minute routine where he never said a word and got huge laughs. And it was about like he'd get ready to say it, and just all the physical emotion and stuff. You can still portray all that without, you know? It's like this book I just read about human nature talks about he ended up being sort of a star in hypnotherapy and blah, 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 but he was a great psychologist, blah, blah, blah. But he, as a kid, he got polio and went, he got paralyzed. And like the night before, like the doctor told his, as he got worse and worse, the doctor like told his mom he's not going to make it through the night, whatever. And then he woke up months later after he'd been in a coma for a while, and he couldn't move anything, not even his lips, except his eyes. And then
Did he hear all that, you said?
Yeah, he could hear.
Oh,
he could still hear and stuff. And
Heard y'all talking shit. I'm gonna start walking.
Well, it's weird because he did, when she came back in the room, they thought he was asleep and couldn't hear it. So he did hear that, and then he had his mom, like, he kept her busy so she wouldn't get all emotional.
Yeah.
He kept having her move this chest of drawers around, and he was trying to get a mirror placed so that at an angle so that if he died, he could like watch the sunset as he died, you know? And anyway, it's like he could see her getting frustrated, blah, blah, blah. And then when he woke back up, he had like 7 sisters and a brother or whatever. And then he started to notice in their conversation, the way that they communicated with words was almost never what they really meant.
Yeah.
And that it seemed obvious to him as he watched, like you could see all this communication. It goes back to the fact that as human beings, before we learned language, we still had to communicate all the same things that we communicate now, right? And without words. So it was all done through, we could read each other's faces and expressions and movements and blah, 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 and be able to understand and communicate. And we still have that in our DNA, and we still do it. We just don't recognize that we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what's really crazy about that? I'm in a class, anthropology. We learned exactly about that, you know?
Really?
You know, humans used to have there's a bone. It's like free floating in your neck right here.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's. You know what it's called?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What?
And it dictates vocal cords. And you know.
Can you break that bone if you get hit there or something, like a regular bone, or is it like?
Yeah, but I mean, it's connected with like tissue and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So like, if you crush your
Larynx?
throat, then obviously the bone breaks. But
Yeah.
yeah, anthropologists and like historical linguists can like go back and you know, see exactly when that bone disconnected, so that they know exactly pretty much when humans learned to make like
Noises and language.
complex sounds.
Really?
Yeah. And
Huh.
the sounds that humans made before that were like cat sounds, like dog sounds. You know, they all have like a specific set of sounds that you can make. Like they can't talk, right? So they have a specific set of sounds that you can make, or that they can make to communicate certain things.
Cats have figured out meowing they don't do in the
It's
wild.
like babies.
Yeah.
They just do that for humans. Like they've learned to.
No, they do it with other cats. Like they
Yeah.
have specific things that they do with other cats.
Oh, okay.
That communicate with them, like hissing. You know, like they hiss at other cats to. Let
Do they
them know.
meow at them in the wild?
I'm not sure.
That's what I mean. I think the meow I read somewhere was like they developed for humans.
That's a domesticated thing.
Yeah.
All-time play right there. That's a good one.
What?
To sound like a baby, like cats, they sound like babies.
What do you mean?
That's what I heard. Like they tried to mimic like the sound of a baby because they like, I don't know. This like if they saw us taking care of babies, they're like, well, they're taking care of that thing that goes. Maybe if I do that, they'll take care of me.
Huh.
I am completely right. Don't Google that.
Okay. Well, what I like to do is like say I'm a 60% sure that's accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. You just make up a number also about your level of. So was it interesting to you when you were learning it, or you're like, oh, I just learned of something about what he just said?
No, it was pretty interesting. That whole class is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Did you think it would be when you signed up for it?
it was the most interesting thing that I could sign up for.
Okay.
I mean, everything else was full. It was just like anthropology. What does that mean?
Yeah. What's that mean?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll do
Aren't
that
you glad
one.
it wasn't another math, like some other
Oh,
math
I would have
you've
been
never heard of?
pissed. Yeah. Taking 3 maths first semester of college.
And 2 of them are math you already took, right?
No, only one. Just I've already taken pre-calculus, but I have to take it again because my credits didn't transfer.
Is it super easy to take again, or is it like,
Oh my
shit?
God. It's so easy.
Really?
It's so easy that I get bad grades on stuff because I just fly through it.
Yeah, we talked about that when you took it the first time. We were
Yeah.
like, you have to go, it's these things you have to go back over and double check yourself because you start
Yeah.
to feel like it's easy and then you rush just a thing, a number, a little thing here and a little letter there or whatever, and you're, you know.
Yeah. The teacher or the professor gets really mad at me for not like showing my work, but I just know the answer because I've done it so many times. I've already taken, this class pre-calculus, calculus 1, and like a couple weeks of calculus 2.
Dude.
So maybe you explain that to him or whatever. Have you tried that? And is it sexist
yes.
to me to consider it a him without even checking first?
I mean, I've already checked and I've already wanted to move out of that class, but I can't,
But I mean, like you said, like you just know it already. To show your work, that's like saying, hey, show me how you got 3 times 9. Show me your work. I don't need to show you my work. I did the work, so now I know that number.
Yeah.
You know what I
All
mean?
conceptual.
Right. So, I mean, that's what I mean. Can you explain something like that to him and be like, I know this already. So to show you all the steps is like, it's like saying, what's 3 times 4? And you're like, what's your work? My work was that I learned how to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I mean, I'll probably have to say something, but I'll probably just show my work, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like factoring, polynomials, whatever. Like I've just done
I don't even
so
know.
many.
Dude, all I took was algebra. I never got into calculus. I took bonehead math in college. I only had 1 math class in college. That was it.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you like math, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hated
Yeah,
it.
see, that's an example.
I hated
That's
it.
an example I'm talking about, right? Like when you just communicated, yeah, like.
But
not
he
really.
doesn't.
Yeah, I
But
do.
you like when he says yes.
No, I do actually. I like it's just certain like facets of math, I guess, that I don't like.
My favorite's the
Showing your
numbers,
work.
probably.
Yeah, showing my work.
Double checking
I
myself.
love algebra. Algebra is just fun to me. Trying to find the missing x. Find the x.
Solve the riddle, basically.
Yeah. But then we get into stuff like limits, and it's like, why do I want to do this? This is so stupid. I might as well
I thought
do it.
math had no limits.
Yeah.
I
don't
like
know
the
what that is.
geometry. That one made sense because you like look at stuff. Like algebra, it's like, hated it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, in calculus, you'll learn about limits. And later in the semester, you'll learn about derivatives, which is just an easier way to do limits. So why do we do limits in the first place? It doesn't make any sense.
Huh.
Like, yeah. Super weird.
That's
think-
the kind of questions I would want to ask the teacher. Like, why? What's the point? And there may be. It's like there may be a thing like almost like being an athlete where it's like these are the basics that you need to know to get to this. So
Yeah.
once you know.
I think it's more about finding the definitions of limits to then do derivatives so you know like what it's doing. But why? Doesn't
Yeah.
really make any sense.
So, and what's the other math? Physics is a
Physics.
math.
Dude, I'd hate math even more if I was a baseball player. I'd be like, dude, I'm a pitcher. I don't need to know this stuff. I'd hate it even more. I don't know how you do it.
Well, I mean, depending on how you are as a pitcher or an athlete, I assume there's a lot of math that goes into like the figuring out the percentages of which pitch works when, and like the percent, like first pitch strikes, you can see, it leads to 832.
Got an Excel spreadsheet on the mound.
Well, I mean, that's what.
Actually, yeah.
That's
Yeah?
I mean, that's what
That's what they
they're
have.
using
They
in
got-
sports now, basically.
They got
Really?
scorecards in their hats. You take the hat off, you see exactly what,
Huh.
what this hitter does when.
Okay. I thought you meant like a percentage of your own pitches in the thing. That makes sense.
They are doing that at the major league level.
Okay, yeah,
for sure,
that makes sense.
You know, doing the math of like all that stuff comes down with the spin rates and the blah blah. There's just so much of it involved. But really, you're right. Most athletes are probably just like, I'm gonna get that guy out. You guys do all the math you want. Whatever, you know?
Either I get him out or I don't.
Yeah.
That's statistics for you, 50-50.
But I think it would benefit you to know, like a hitter you're facing, if on a 1-2 count, 80% of the time he'll chase a slider out of the zone. So you know that math to throw that out of the zone and he'll swing at it. You know.
All right, I retract my statement. That makes sense.
So what's the math? I thought physics was science.
It is science, but the only science part about physics is knowing when to apply which math.
Oh.
Like,
That sounds awful.
It's actually, I don't know. I enjoy it. I've been enjoying it.
Sounds interesting. Yeah.
So basically, it's like the only science part about it is, so you just have to understand the concepts of the science. So it's like when to apply this formula if the object is spinning, or when to apply this formula when an object is going down a hill at a constant speed, or it's accelerating, you know? Like that's the science part about it, is finding what to do when. And then
it's
you would just apply the
applied
math.
Science, I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then you just plug in the math. That's the thing.
Huh. Does it help you in the physics? Because that's a lot of that math on what you're doing to a baseball, right?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten quite there yet. That's that's probably 3 semesters.
Okay.
I'll get there. We actually have a physics professor who has done he's like a material science guy, and he does a lot of stuff with baseball. Super cool. Like he's got whole studies on which baseball bats produce the most, kinetic force, which is like how much pop a baseball bat has.
Is it Easton's?
What?
Is it Easton's?
No.
I hate the sound of your team's bats, by the way.
What do they sound like?
They just
they're
that loud. Like there's they got that loud noise to them. Like not
you don't like that? I think it sounds cool.
It does when it's like.
Like, oh, he hit the shit out of that thing. I like being able to hear that.
But when they don't hit the shit out of it, it's just like.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, oh my god.
Especially as like us taking swings indoors and stuff. It's
oh god,
just
yeah, it's
so
like
loud.
Sonic.
Or even like in the cage when they're swinging over and over. That just.
Nothing sounds cooler than a wooden one though when it gets.
Yeah.
For sure. I love the sound of a wood bat, but yeah. So that guy, I'm really excited to have his class.
Okay. That's cool to be excited about a class.
Yeah. I don't even know if I will.
I was never that way at your age. Now I would be excited because it'd be like I'd be interested in learning about this thing,
Yeah.
Before it was always like, this is just the thing I gotta do.
Well, I mean, I think the difference is you've been excited to learn my entire life, and you kind of pass that on to me.
So, really?
Yeah.
Do you hear that? It's a positive thing about me.
It is a positive thing. Look at that.
The dumbest father in the room. That's what the name of the show is. Yeah.
I got excited to learn.
Curious father in the room. Yeah.
Yes. Huh.
The most curious.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think of physics as like, and then vaguely, and then, does that mean quantum physics is just figuring out which formulas to do on the quantum level, or is that a different
Dude,
thing?
I have no idea.
Or metaphysics? I don't either. Like, when I see the word physics, I misspell it in my head and say psychics. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know really what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff we're doing right now is like, it's kinetic physics. So it's like just movement of objects. I'm not getting into the theoretical stuff yet. Like
movement of objects, dude. You're moving a baseball around manipulating it with your fingers and shit. Okay.
Fingers.
Yeah.
Tom, you should pull a Goofy movie too and go back to school with Owen. How fun would that be?
Well, it's like, I feel like as far as learning and Owen's passed me in every aspect now. He's stronger than me. He can probably beat me at every sport now. He's smarter than me. You know, like all this stuff that it's like.
Well, that was your
it's
goal
like-
as a father, right?
Yeah. Eventually, yeah, I didn't really realize it, but yeah. But it's like I'm like a version of Safari that doesn't really download good websites anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
You got too much storage on the
I got
computer.
too much storage, too much shit up here, and
Yeah.
too much habit. That's the thing. Let me ask you this: do you have any? What's your worst habit that you think?
I don't even know.
I've
Probably
been reading
procrastinating.
Pra-
I'm a terrible procrastinator, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible procrastinator. I mean, you wouldn't be good at it, and you would get things done early. That's if you were a terrible procrastinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
He's still
true.
got time to figure out
What
his.
is your best quality? I'm a terrible procrastinator. I got to do everything right away. I got to
Yeah.
get things done immediately.
I'll procrastinate tomorrow.
Okay, I'm a really, really good procrastinator.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you got that from me too, unfortunately. You know?
Yeah.
I read a funny meme the other day. It's like it said, I did a thing that I've been putting off for 6 months.
And
It took me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I will not learn this lesson.
Yeah. I also saw a thing. It said, if you
Stop sending me memes,
yeah,
Dad.
stop sending me memes, pretty much. Yeah. It was like if you wait till the last minute, it only takes a minute.
That's
There you go.
Yeah. Simple as that. Well, yeah. I mean,
What do you see in your son that you like had in your like you're talking about habits? Like what do you see in him that you're just like, oh shit, that's me? It doesn't have to be bad.
I watching the podcast with him on it when he laughs. That's when I realized, oh, his laughs a lot like my.
Yeah.
You can hear. Like, was that me laughing or him laughing? Like when it's
Probably
off
because he did it
camera.
around you a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he's also got like a. You got some things of qualities of mine that I wish were stronger in me. If that makes sense. He's got a patience, at least around me. He's got a patience. He's got a. He's better at like when a lot of times when I get frustrated at myself, I get angry really fast, and he has a tendency to.
Like when you were trying to get into Zoom earlier?
Yeah, he has a little bit like his mom, where he's like, "Oh, well, let me figure this out," and he's got
Yeah.
more patience that way. You know, he seemed more willing to like, you know, whatever, something simple like go to a restaurant and then order something that you don't normally get just because that looks interesting. You know, what I mean, those kind of things where I'm more like I'm getting what I normally get. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, in that case, I
yeah.
just like food, man. I mean,
Yeah, I don't really love food. I like, you know, I'll eat what I
yeah.
gotta eat.
If something looked interesting to me, I'll be like, yeah, I'm eating that. Even
Yeah.
if I don't like it, I'm still gonna eat it just because
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
It's different.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I don't know. I think you have a patience. You have a little bit more patience. You have and you do a thing where you're like, it's all going to work out. I'm not going to get stressed about this. I'm not going to get wrapped up in whatever this soap opera is. It's going to work out.
Well, the reason I do that is because, you know, whenever that doesn't work out, like whenever I'm like, damn, this is really not going to work out, then I lose my patience and I get frustrated.
Okay.
Like, you know, if I calculate in my head, if I do the calculations, and it's going to work out, then I'm not going to stress
You know
about
what it
it.
is? It's that
Gucci.
procrastinating thing. I kind of do it too. Like you just put off dealing with it, thinking, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. So, and then when it gets there and it doesn't, you're like, now you got to react.
Yeah.
Or
Exactly.
it's like, yeah.
Well, I mean, that works out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, dude, you have so much more time to figure out like the things that you do that are like your dad. Like every day now, like your whole 20s, I feel like is gonna be holy shit. I'm my dad, especially near the end. I'm 27 now. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm doing so many things just like my dad.
Yeah, I don't think
even
he
mean
does
to.
a whole lot like really that's like. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's like
I mean, it's not bad things. I mean,
Yeah.
some of them are not great, but you know.
yeah, he's I don't he don't do a lot where I'm like that's like me. I don't really have
Yeah.
that, you know, to be honest. I'm proud of some I'm just proud of you for, you know.
No, I don't.
I like your work ethic. That's pretty that even though it's sort of forced on you by the environment you're in.
Yeah. No,
Are you saying you?
Huh?
Are you saying you?
No, we sort of butted heads on that his whole life because I wanted him to do have the work ethic he has now then.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want to be a kid. It's not
Yeah.
how he said it, but that's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of, pretty much.
He's like, yeah, Dad, I'm 8. So
And I'm like, get out there and get to work. You're never going to make it if you don't work. You know what I mean? And
Sitting in my diapers.
yeah,
yeah, say, all right, I'll crawl. Jeez, leave me alone.
it's not far from the truth, dude. Because when I first started throwing with him, if he didn't throw it correctly, I would stop throwing with him. I was a little annoyed watching you throw the football at Longwood the other day.
What?
Yeah, it's like he was warming up like doing some stuff, and he's throwing a football with another pitcher, I guess.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was a little disappointed in you. Why do you think?
You just got done talking for like 5
Oh,
minutes.
I know,
about
because
how
I
proud
wasn't
you are.
catching it and tucking
You
it.
weren't tucking the ball.
Oh my
baby.
God.
You got it when you catch the ball. You got to tuck every time. He never tucked, and it's like, why isn't he tucking? I literally thought that while you're out there throwing.
That's hilarious.
You're not even a football player or a receiver.
Yeah.
You know? I was kind of proud of you were throwing spirals, which you weren't doing for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I had like a spiral block.
Yeah. Well, you got it back,
I
but you're
did.
not tucking.
It
And if
happens.
you're going to be out there catching footballs, do it correctly. Tuck.
Is Coach Miller gonna come out of nowhere and hit stick me or something? Like
No, because they don't understand football. I'm just saying. Right? When you catch the ball, put it away.
Yeah.
Or you fumble. Just like I did in the key moment of Madden football against Trundy a couple
Yeah,
weeks
you
back.
kind of fumbled there.
He was down. He was down. He was
He
down.
was
He
not.
was down.
The replay showed he was
When you
not
watch the
down.
episode, go watch the Trundy Simmons episode. You're getting ready. You said you were
I
excited.
am.
about
I'm
it.
excited for that. I'm excited to watch it. I didn't even know it was up.
It's
Go check
out,
it out.
baby.
Huh?
It's out, baby.
We're gonna do more of that because I like it.
It was fun.
What's a wonderful trait you have that you wish more people knew about you?
What?
I wish I could have got his face when you said wonderful. What's a wonderful trait?
What's a
anyway?
trait you have that you wish more people knew about you?
That I wish more people knew about me.
Yeah. Like if you have a trait, you know what I'm saying? What's a good thing about you that like I don't even know? That's.
Man, I have no idea.
That's a weird. I don't know.
That's like a.
It's kind
That's
of
a weird
question.
one.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think of it for
Could you
myself.
think of a wonderful trait that you have that
That
nobody
not
else
enough people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at hiding that I'm loving. Right? And
Yeah.
That I.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You tell every single one of your friends that you love them.
Yeah, you do. Every person you've had on the phone in here, you have done that.
Oh.
Tom
I love
loves
you,
his
Seth. I love you,
friends.
Seth.
Tom loves his
Okay.
friends.
All right. Let me ask you this: if you're sharing a bathroom, in a non-gender specific bathroom in a public place, like an idiot box,
Mm-hmm.
toilet seat up, toilet seat down, when you leave.
Depends on what I do. Which I'm not pushing out honkers at the idiot box, but I would never do that, Jenny. But yeah, if I peed, I'd leave it up. If it was non-gender, yeah.
Depends on the position of the toilet seat when I got in there. Because I would just leave it, to be honest.
Mhm.
And that's why I think you leave it up, right? Because a girl coming in, that's what's going to happen a lot. If you leave it down, then a guy that's coming in is going to be like, it's down, I'm just going to pee
Oh
with it
yeah,
down.
you're right. You're right.
And he's probably going to get the seat and not, it's just a public bathroom,
Yeah.
so nobody cleans up after themselves, right?
Yeah.
But if you leave it up, then it's...
And if you're a girl and you walk in and it's up, you're like, oh my God, no one was sitting on it. I'm about to get a nice, cool seat.
Exactly.
Because nothing's worse than when it's warm from a public one.
That is true.
There's a few things probably worse. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's up. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
there are, but it's pretty
Yes.
bad.
I thought that at idiot box, so I was like, huh. Because you normally, like, if you share a bathroom with a woman in your house or blah, 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 the standard is put it back down. They're loving this next door. We got a live feed
They're
going
watching the
next
live
door.
stream right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
Now, you were asking me about coaching, and you said, what do you think makes it different? Because I'm coaching his ex high school's like JV team. I'm helping coach this like fall league that they
Yeah.
do. And I don't know, I just really like a lot of the kids or whatever. And then I was leaving the other night, And it's like, all right, you guys, good luck next week. It's the end of it, you know, and I'm not going to be there. And as I was going away, like a couple of them like came over like specifically to like give me a hug.
Wow.
And I just, you know what I mean?
You know, you may think you're good at hiding that you're a loving person, but it's hard for folks to hide their love for you.
Yeah. Gazing. And Owen said, yeah, those kids love you, man. What do you think's the difference between when I was coaching you and that team is what you're saying on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you had less invested, I guess.
Huh?
Maybe you had less invested.
I have less invested now. Like I don't really.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I meant.
Something about coaching, like I felt like it. You know, I think I learned not just from you, but like it's not that important that they do everything right. It's not that important that I make them better players. It's not. None of that matter. Like I would like if I could do that again, I would be a little bit more laid back about it. But to me, I was just like, I felt like I was herding cattle the whole time, and I just need you to do these little things, you know, and just work on the little things over and over and over. And I just wanted, like, if there was before a game, every minute I had them on the field, I wanted them doing something productive to get better, which, you know, that's not really.
Yeah.
You know,
Not really a thing.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, well, yeah, but you know, before game time. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before game time.
Talk to me like you're talking to a dad that's getting ready to coach his kids.
Yeah. Okay. So before game time, you need to let the players just relax. You know.
Right.
I mean, it's a lot of stress going into a game. It's even as a 11-year-old or whatever. You know, there's still like your parents are in the stands. You got to perform. Type thing. Or else they're gonna yell at you in the car.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing for everybody. You know.
I remember one of the worst yellings I ever gave you.
Worst yellings?
Yeah.
It's funny that you remember it.
I'm sure he does too. He was trying out for his middle school team, and there was a coach there who had 2 sons on the team who those kids were going to be the stars, right?
Yeah.
And they're not. They weren't the best player. And I've always, and that's sort of like, I think since then he's had a different, like we have a theory, we have a thing we say where you win the starting job in warm-ups. In the tryout, you make the team in warm-ups, you know, and again, it was like a tuck the ball thing. It's like he wasn't tucking his glove when he threw, and I was so annoyed because he was every time not tucking his glove, and just he was sort of nonchalant because he knew he was a pretty good player, blah blah blah, but he was nonchalant about the whole sort of warm-up and even the whole practice. He was having fun and drawing penises in the dirt, and, you know what I mean? And then he got in the car, and I was like, I just laid into him. I was telling him how he just
You're drawing dicks in the dirt.
I told him he embarrassed his coach, the guy that he gets lessons from.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't?
I don't.
I was driving you back to baseball academy, and I was like, you were an embarrassment to Jeff, and everything you just taught you, I was laying into you. It was a tryout for that Summerfield SCA team
Yeah.
So when you go to Psychology 101, repression is going to be mentioned.
And he doesn't even remember. It's the worst I ever
That's what
was
repression is.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that, to be honest.
Oh, good.
It's just
Good.
Good. You could have not told him.
I could
you
have
could have just kept that to yourself.
Yeah, you could have got away with it.
No.
Yeah, which is crazy because I was going from tryouts to then going to do more baseball,
Yeah, you were going to do a lesson. Yeah.
which is wild.
Why?
Because I like, how many of those kids on that field do you think were going from that tryout over to practice baseball?
None.
Nobody.
How many of them are playing high school baseball?
High school?
How many of them made it to their high school team?
Like varsity?
Yeah.
Man, when was this? 7th grade? Or
No, it was
6th?
all those guys. It was the who were the twins?
Oh, the Lewises?
The Lewises. It was the Lewises.
Shout out
and
the Lewises.
Yeah, the Lewises, and then there was the other guy that was the pitcher.
The
that you
Webbs were
caught.
there. Moose?
Oh yeah, he was there. So one.
No, both of them were there.
No.
There was. Oh no, it was just Brian, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of them got on their high school team,
Okay, and bad argument.
but
on
they
my
didn't.
part.
They didn't finish They didn't finish playing with the high school team. They didn't play their senior year. Most of them.
Yeah, so they're done with baseball.
Yeah.
That's the
that is-
difference. You did that. You put in extra work.
I know, but like, you know, how much of that really came down to me drawing dicks in the dirt?
What do you mean?
You know, like if I drew 2 extra dicks in the dirt, would I be playing college baseball? Probably. You know, I'd probably still be playing college baseball.
Well, you didn't. You didn't play on
He's
that
got you
team
there.
like you should have.
I broke my foot.
That's true. That's true. You did. You did break your foot. You know, but yeah. Do you think you were pushed too much?
No, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, compared to the work I do now, it's not that bad.
Yeah. And
Like obviously we had long practices, you know, and then I did another long practice after that.
yeah.
So like I think the volume, like the amount of time me being on the field was actually about the same time as me being on the field in college, you know.
Oh, okay.
But obviously, you know, to be honest, now I'm doing a lot less than I was because back then I was pitching, I was catching, I was fielding, I was hitting.
Yeah.
Now I'm just pitching, you know, and everything is focused on me working on my craft. And back then I was focused on being the best overall baseball player on the team.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Like-
It is. That's why the guys like Shohei Ohtani are so revered. You know what I mean? They're playing both ways and both.
Yeah.
But you have two-way players on your college team, right?
We have 2.
Yeah. It's
The
they're
Lewises.
the Lewises. Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, those were good kids too. You know what I mean?
They sound like it.
Owen gave up the guy hit his first home run off Owen. One of them.
Really?
Yeah, Connor hit a home run off you in that Gate City League with the short fence.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was like the first real home run.
Yeah.
On the big field.
So what if you're talking to a high school athlete that's getting ready to go to college? What's been the biggest difference between playing at a high level in high school versus starting in college as a freshman?
Every single person is the best player on your high school team. Everybody is the best person that's on your high school team. It's wild, you know?
Yeah.
Like, man.
Even the third string catcher is like the
Yeah,
best
even
catcher.
the third string catcher is as good or better than your starting catcher as on your high school team. Even the fourth string catcher, you know? Like, everybody, the backups, the starters, you know, the starters are way better than your best player because they have so much experience. You know, these guys that just hit everything. Like, you know, as a pitcher, you can't throw these guys anything. They see it and they hit it. It's tough, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know.
But the hitters, you don't, as a pitcher, do you recognize that they are also seeing pitching from you that's on a level that maybe they haven't seen as much? So they're a little like, holy shit, I haven't seen a curveball like that, or man, this guy locates way better than any pitchers I've been around.
I mean,
you know what I mean? So they have to step their games up too, right?
Yeah, based on how I've done, yeah, it's like, you know, it is a thing. Like these guys, you know, they're still facing. You are also as good as them. Is
your competition level? Is it way harder than you thought it was going to be, or are you surprised that like, oh man, I'm in this game, or how?
Yeah,
what's that
I'm
feeling?
actually very surprised because you know, a lot of my problems have come down to me pitching, not necessarily that the hitters that I'm facing are better than me.
Right.
Like that's another thing that you really have to know going in is that you're there for a reason and you are also as good as these players and you're able to get them out because you're on the same level as them. You know?
Right.
So
Is that what you're working on, sort of learning, or do you know that?
honestly, I just came in and I figured that out pretty quickly.
Okay.
You know, I mean, obviously it's a different level, but if you're good enough, if you're good, then you're good. Is the thing. You know, you just gotta trust. You gotta trust what you've been doing because you've made it to that level.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a fluke, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And even the guys like, man, even some of the guys that I've played with, like they're on the level that Bristol is. And
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is there
Bristol's
any?
a damn draft pick.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy,
Do you see, like, are you excited by, like, you can see, like, from looking at the juniors and seniors, right? Like, the accumulation of all the work you're doing now over the next 3 years, like how much
Yeah.
that's going to progress you? Because it's like,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these guys are huge. They're 200. Everybody's 200 plus.
it's crazy.
Like-
It's like a football team.
Yeah, and we have a lot of guys. A lot of them are just massive. They throw really hard. I'm one of the slowest throwers on the team. Like it's crazy.
Right.
I've always not really been a flamethrower, obviously, but I've been getting up there recently.
Right.
And now it's just like, damn, I'm back to the bottom of the barrel when it comes to velocity.
Right.
But that doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Yes. Because why?
Because I got nasty pitches and I can put them where I want. Yeah.
Because location is more important than velocity.
Location.
And changing speed is more important than velocity. And
Yeah, because someone can throw heat all day, but if they're throwing meat right over the plate, it's just like, bam. You
yeah,
know?
Exactly. Yeah.
that's what happens to position players. Like there's something to, like, I was thinking about this for these high school kids watching them play. It's like, man, we should just be putting the best athletes on the mound. Like, they're the best athletes for a reason. Let's, like
Yeah.
when Jackson gets on the mound in high school, he's a
competes.
dominant pitcher.
Yeah, he competes, man.
Yeah, and so, but it's still mostly really hard fastballs. So people that can hit fastballs will also be able to hit them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
most people can't. That's in high school.
Yeah, in high school you can just get away with throwing 88. Like that's not even that hard. 88 is obvious. I mean, it's
In high school, that's hard.
in high school. You'll see guys throwing 88 to 90
Right.
in high school, but that's all they throw, because they don't need to throw anything else. Like the bottom of the lineup is just gonna watch 3 of those go right down the middle because they're so scared. Except for a team like ours, where we swing at everything and we hit
Right.
like or
A third of it.
yeah.
So were your expectations of going to college not even just for sports? Has the whole thing been you've only been there for 2-3 months, whatever, 2 months. How's the overall, is it cooler than you thought it'd be? Is it lonely? Is it what's it been like?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely not lonely. There's people all around all the time. Like I could just go talk to my friends just whenever I want to. They're on my floor,
Right.
and I live with them. Like it's pretty cool. And
You make friends pretty easy, or do you have that?
Yeah, I've been making friends pretty easy.
Yeah?
I've just decided that I'm not going to be the guy that kind of sits in the corner and just kind of focuses on myself. I'm just going to, no, I'm going to go.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
gonna go
started
talk to
doing
people.
that. I stuck with the other method for like 56 years.
College is fun, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
College is
It's the
really
best time
fun.
of your life, is what they say.
That is what they say.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool so far.
There's no overwhelmingness to it, or no like,
Sometimes like holy shit, I've got so much to do today. But but I get it done is the thing, Like you kind of have to get it done.
right.
Wait till the last second.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Oh, I got a question.
you gonna ask me about Greece?
No. So which would you rather have? You always find yourself in dangerous situations, but you know for a fact you're always going to make it out. Like, it's like, like, you're like, oh, let's ride a roller coaster. And you're like, I don't know, the dangerous situation could happen, but you always know you're going to get out. Like, okay. Like, you could be like scared. It's going to be terrifying, explosions, whatever.
It wouldn't be
That
if I knew I
Or-
was getting out of it.
Or you'll only have one dangerous situation ever, and you don't know if you're gonna make it. But you'd be constantly like in dangerous situations, like I just wanted to go to the grocery store, and now I'm like spinning on a Ferris wheel over top of the
Oh,
ocean.
I don't want that. I don't want that all the
or
time.
you get one dangerous situation in your life, and it's like a toss up if
Could
you
go
make
either
it out.
way?
Yeah, you could die. But the other one, it happens all the time. You know what? Fuck it. This is a good question.
I like the second one because you're just describing life. I mean,
sure.
It all ends to death. All roads lead to being dead.
Yeah.
So you have to address that eventually in your head mentally, somehow. So I'm for that one. I don't want to, I'm not a thrill seeker like, oh, I can't wait to almost die today. No, no thank you.
Dude, I would do the first one all day.
Really?
Yes. You know how awesome that would be?
You always look badass?
If you go to the grocery store and someone comes and starts shooting up the store, you're going to make it out. So you could be a damn superhero.
That's true. He's true. It's right.
Is that what you would do?
Hell yeah.
Now, if you were a superhero in that situation, what would you do? What would be your thing?
Dude, I just sneak up behind him and sock him.
You gotta sneak them? That's your superhero's ability?
Dude, no, it would be no superhero.
What is it? What do they call that? The superhero ability? What's that called?
Yeah.
Your power?
Oh yeah, your superpower.
Yeah.
Your superpower is sneaking.
What would your superpower be, Tom? Dogging on his. Which I don't think he was saying that would be a superpower. I think he was just saying that would be his solution because he knows he's going to be fine.
I thought bulletproof at first, but I think
that's lame.
Dude, that is so lame.
Bulletproof just helps me. I would want to. Who am I kidding? Do I really want to go? I don't want. Can you imagine every day you got to help? You wake up and you're like, what do I do today? I got to help people.
Dude, your name would be something lame like Kevlar.
Oh, it'd be the kid, dude. Captain Kidd.
The kid, Kevlar, yeah. How are we going to make it through? I don't know. Hide behind Tom. You just have to get really fat for it to make a difference.
The ability to fly.
That's just the most obvious one, but it's very
yeah.
The ability to fly is just the best superpower.
I think teleport was one for me. That's just more selfish flying though, because you can't really carry anyone when you teleport. I guess I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of superpower. The web one's pretty cool.
Yeah, but what could you do with that here? You'd have to live in New York or something.
You'd have to.
Now your mouth's shut. You know what I mean? I don't have to move everywhere. I can just, grab items.
Yeah.
That would be very convenient. That would be very convenient.
Wouldn't be bad. Nice little web. I am proud of that question. I feel better about that question now.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was a good question.
Yes.
But honestly, going back to that, I think I would definitely take the dangerous situations all the time. Just dude, I like how you're saying in it, it's you would also kind of be badass in it. Because I didn't even think of that. I was like, dude, what if I'm being held by my underwear by a helicopter blade, but I do survive, but I don't look badass. I like the way you went, where you were like, dude, I'll be badass. I like that.
I do like the idea of never gonna, but I don't like the idea of I'm running to the grocery store and then all of a sudden out of nowhere a train is running me over. Whatever, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Like a dangerous. I don't know. I'm just trying to think I can't even think of a dangerous situation there. But just dangerous situations popping up randomly at all time. You never know when they're going to be.
Do you know that just happens all the time?
It's true.
It
we're
happens.
Describing life now.
It just happens.
Yeah.
You ever been driving down the road, somebody cuts you off?
Oh, yeah.
You could have died. You just avoided a dangerous situation.
Yeah. It's funny. I can't. Because I still have that with you. You're on the mound. I envision a ball coming back to you. You're driving back to college. I imagine a deer jumping out in front of you. It's miserable.
It's dangerous. That's just all what it is, man. Just dangerous situations.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So Owen, my wife is looking for the keys or whatever in Owen's purse. And
Owen has a purse?
Well, he has a man bag.
I have a man bag.
It's actually pretty cool looking, whatever. And
is it a fanny pack?
It's a Coach.
Okay, yeah. That's the cool thing now. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. And she finds a vape.
Right.
Right. So she brings it to Owen, and she's like, "What is this?" And he says, "I don't know. One of my friends must have put that in there." How do you feel about that?
I think we talked about this before.
Okay.
I remember thinking, is he insane? My mom would be like, "Oh yeah, right," and then jam it in my ear or something.
That's kind of what she was like. Yeah, sure.
It's the go-to first thing.
She was so pissed.
Yes, it's the go-to first thing everybody says.
But that's going to make you feel good he's bad at lying.
Why do you have this box of radar detectors in the back of your car? I'm just holding them for a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
Those aren't mine.
Yeah, that
I didn't
box
steal
of
those
radar
from all
detectors.
all cars in the apartment complex.
Jesus.
Does this make you feel better when you hear about my youth, when you realize that you're so much better? You know what I mean? Like, how do I have shit to say after doing stuff like that because I turned out good?
That sounds pretty fun.
Okay.
Honestly.
No, stealing, no, it's not.
You lived the dangerous situation all the time thing already. Now
Yeah,
you're
you've
like
already
the
done
one.
that, man.
It's so stupid.
Your one dangerous
You should not
situation is the
steal
world
from other
ending.
people. It's like, yeah. Anyway, so some friend put it in there. Crazy, right? That they would do that, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense though if they're at the lake and you know. And so then some reason she's going through it again and finds his journal and is reading his journal. And then no, I'm making that
Whoa,
up. I made
a breach of trust
I
right
made
there.
that up.
Okay.
But
have a
then
journal. Some
again,
stupid
she finds
shit.
another one.
Okay.
Coincidentally, somebody put it in there again.
Same flavor?
Okay,
Not even the same brand.
Oh,
A
no.
totally different person.
here's the thing though. I hadn't picked it up in about a month.
He can quit anytime he wants to.
No, I hadn't picked the purse up in about a month. It was just sitting on the
Don't
counter.
call her purse. That sounds weird. I'm
Okay.
playing.
I didn't pick up the man bag in about a month.
Man bag sounds kind of gayer.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little bit. Grab the man bag.
Now they
Not
also,
that there's anything wrong
hey,
with
when
gay.
you went to college,
I hadn't picked up the crossbody in about a month. So the fact that she found it within a week of each other, like obviously she didn't find the other one that was in there as well.
oh,
Same, yeah.
oh, okay. Okay.
Like, I don't know.
This is see this face? This is a father wanting to believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
I bet you did. I bet you strung some yarn or
of
whatever they
course,
say.
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
What was your biggest lie you've ever told?
The biggest lie I've
Yeah.
ever told?
Yeah.
I don't think I tell big lies.
Yeah.
They're more like I tell, like, you know, how's your day? Good. Did you
Your biggest lie is when people ask how are you doing and you say fine.
I think I lie in a similar way that Owen will, which is you lie by omission,
Yeah.
by not saying the thing.
Okay. When
But I
has it
don't-
gotten you in trouble? When's like the biggest time? Because I lied a lot when I was a kid. But then I got older and I was like, oh, people don't like when you do that.
Yeah. It's all, but yeah. I can't remember. I've always been worried. You know, I can't really think of one. Like, I know that sounds terrible. That I'm like an obvious lie that I can't think of a lie. But I don't think I do any
Crazy lies.
crazy lies. It's more like saying I'll be somewhere when I know I'm not going to be. You
Yeah.
know, or
Good set.
Yeah, good set. Yeah, good set. You're really funny tonight.
You guys never lied about having a sibling that was dying in the hospital for attention in
that's
kindergarten?
crazy. No,
Yeah.
like I never put like I'm gonna make some big lie up to make.
It was fun, dude.
Did you ever lie in a way that specifically hurt somebody else? Like you said that they did something that they didn't do. And most of my lies too are sort of like, you know, like
No, I mainly lied about myself
Yeah.
as a kid. I'd like to say, I remember I said to like my kindergarten teacher, I was like, oh, my sister Jacqueline, we don't know if she's gonna make it. Because I'd like saw it in a show and it was like dramatic or whatever, and the teacher was like, oh my God. And so she'd always ask me every day, like, how's your sister? And I was like, oh, we were up real late last night at the hospital. And she was like, oh, you get extra
Jesus.
time at nap time or something. I was like, okay. And then there was a parent-teacher conference.
So the lie worked out good for you.
Yeah, a little bit. And then the teacher was like, so how's Jacqueline, the sister I made up, to my parents?
Oh,
And they were
wasn't
just
even
like,
a real sister?
no, I made it up. I don't have a sister.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, and then the teacher was like, how's Jacqueline to my parents? And my parents were like, what? And then she told them all, and then I didn't really get in trouble. They thought it was really funny, but I remember crying at the table, being like, I'm sorry. And they're like, it's okay, just don't do it again. So yeah, I made up Jacqueline.
That's crazy.
That's kind of funny.
I guess I was
I
bored.
remember like he did a lie
Oops.
one time and we busted him on somehow, and it really freaked him out.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was really little,
He
and
was in the bathroom. He was throwing up in the shower and stuff.
really, I don't remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you got like physically sick from it.
Huh.
What was it?
Or maybe
Oh,
maybe
okay.
Now I'm
you
in
just-
suspense.
So
What was
man, I was like going like a perfect record or whatever, going into what was it, like
second or third
second,
grade.
third grade.
Dude,
or
this stuff
whatever.
matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I lied about like getting my card turned to yellow. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like I'm on green to start the day, and then you go to yellow when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
It was like my first time ever getting on yellow, and I think I lied about that.
Yeah, I can't even remember what the lie was. It was something.
It was just something so stupid.
He said we were going to call a teacher about something, and he was
Whoa.
like, it was something like, well, maybe we'll just call your teacher, and blah 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 blah. And we were just sort of joking around. I think that's what it was. And then he immediately
Took it seriously and threw up.
no, don't call her. Yeah, it was something like that.
I'm sorry, I forgot to raise my hand. Like,
Yeah, it was something about. It might have been like a fight, like a something you said to somebody. You got in a little verbal spat with somebody, or it was something little
yeah.
like that. Yeah, and it was like, yeah, you were very upset about. I can't. It's weird how I can't remember it. I just
Yeah, I
remember
can't
the
either.
reaction. And I remember thinking about that Brian Regan bit about people getting sick when they lied, and then the kid that was in the balloon.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You better get a handle on that. You're gonna get
That's a
like
good
that every
one.
time you lie." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I do remember what I lied about. It was because, like I said, that I got in trouble because I pushed somebody out of a chair,
Oh yeah.
but that didn't actually happen. I don't know why that was the lie, because that was immediately worse than whatever I did.
Yeah.
Like,
I shot someone.
That's what you got to do. You got to lie. Like I lie a lot about how I do heroin, right? I mean, so that makes the other lie seem like, oh, okay, that's cool. You
Yeah.
You don't do this.
yeah. Man, I don't know. That was just so stupid. I was like, I pushed a kid out of a chair and I got my card turned to yellow. They were like, okay.
That's a red offense, I feel
Yeah,
like. Pushing
and-
someone, that's a definite red.
The kid was fucking with me. Like,
Self-defense,
Yeah.
stand your ground. I mean, maybe a yellow.
I don't
slap
know.
on the
Like, I
hand.
do remember that I lied and said it was that, but that was just. I do also remember that it was worse than whatever I did.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know why. I put
really-
myself in a worse situation.
Yeah, you got to do better with your lie. I hope you've gotten better at them now.
Yeah.
That you're not like making it worse for
Yeah.
yourself.
Making it way worse.
Your mom's
Yeah.
like, "Is this your vape?" And you're like, "Yeah, but that's not nicotine." Why did I just lie for that? There's no reason.
That's actually DMT in that one.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Huh. I'll have to fish that out of the thing for it and get it to Trundy.
Yeah,
Would
you know they
would you
actually
ever
have
do
those, right?
DMT?
They've got DMT vapes.
Really?
They do.
That's death sticks, dude.
You can make them yourself.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good at all. I don't know anything. I don't know enough about DMT, but to
I don't know anything about it either. I know it feels like you're dying, right?
yeah, but it's also supposed to be a really cool experience, like really like life-changing experience. I guess that's what dying is.
Yeah, you'd probably be a little different after dying.
Yeah.
I know Jesus was.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up.
All right.
I appreciate you, Owen.
Yeah. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, man.
Why'd you end that like a business call?
I
You
don't
guys are.
I mean, me and Owen don't communicate well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. You know.